Welcome to this episode of Locked In. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about, is it worth actually swapping out all your hardware on your bike to titanium? Is it worth the weight savings? Is it worth the money? So if that's something you're interested in, please stay tuned. So in this video, I'm simply going to be weighing all of the stock hardware on my Cobalt Warhawk frame set. It is a gravel bike, it is full carbon, and it has a lot more bolts than your typical standard road bike is going to, your cyclocross bike. So unless you have a fully packed gravel bike, the weight difference and the amount of bolts is going to be probably more than you're doing, but you can still learn some stuff on how to save some money going full tie. So on this frame set, I actually have 3 pack mounts, top tube and down tube mounts, your 2 standard bottle mounts, 2 bolts for your front derailleur hanger, and a full set of bolts for both rear rack and fenders front and rear. So this frame has a lot more bolts than most frames are, so I figured it's worth trying titanium bolts to see how much weight I can actually save. So the number of bolts actually on this frame set are a total of 21, including the 2 front derailleur mounts, which is a different style of bolt that you're going to notice of all these compared to the black hardware that you're going to see. Now, the only bolts I did not include in this weight test is stem bolts and your seat post bolt, but those are going to be very minimal weight. So if you have, let's say, less bolts than 21 total, the differential will be kind of the same overall. Let's break into the difference and the weight difference between the two. My full set of 21 bolts total of the stock hardware weighed right in at 58 grams on my scale. And with the full titanium hardware, I dropped that down to 31 grams, so it actually cut the weight in half. I have to say this video is definitely inspired by Rides of Japan. He is the weight weenie YouTube guru, so shout out to him for inspiring this video. And if you haven't noticed, all the bolts that I actually have replaced these with are T25 Torx bolts. I was originally really against going Torx, but since on my gravel bike I carry a T25 with me at all times, I figured why not? It makes it a lot easier, and basically just the engineering behind it, you're less likely to strip a Torx bolt than a standard Allen bolt, and these are bolts that you're going to be possibly using a lot more, so I figured let's do the swap. And I actually happened to discover how to actually save money going full titanium doing this kind of trick or hack. What I noticed is on Amazon, typically, you can actually find a full 12 set of Torx T25 bolts that you would use for your disc brakes for about $20. Now keep in mind, most sets of 6 bolts for your stem replacements are going to be around $20. And typically you're only going to get 4 or 6 bolts total. So you're getting double the amount of tie bolts for the same amount of money. So using that trick, I basically replaced all the hardware on this bike. It cleans up the look because it matches with this oil slick look onto my Cobalt custom chameleon paint job, but you can also get these in gold or black or silver. And as you can see, it did save a little bit of weight. Now, they are technically about 1 millimeter or 2 shorter than the stock bolts, depending on if you count the washer or not on the stock bolts. But essentially, as long as you're running a standard cage mount on your bottle cages, I've had no problems with the amount of threads going into the frame. Now, if I do run a pump or anything underneath it, I probably would either buy longer tie bolts for those things or just swap back to the stock hardware and add the extra gram back or so. And if I'm going to put my front cages on my bike, I'll probably put the stock hardware back in that as well. I'm going to have to take the hardware out as anyways to mount the cage, so having an extra millimeter or so of bolt thread really depends on how comfortable you are and what terrain you're riding. I've done it with tie hardware before on my Poseidon and had no issues of the bolts backing out or getting loose on my bikepacking trip. So keeping that in mind, again, you can basically replace all these bolts if you're going tie for $40. Compared to if you're going to do a standard Allen head, this would cost you 80 bucks. So I hope you guys like this video. I just wanted to share a quick tips and tricks of something I kind of stumbled into and wanted to share with you guys on YouTube. And if you have your own hacks to save weight on a budget, please make sure to comment in the comments below or link me to a video you've created. And if you're interested in purchasing a Cobalt Warhawk frame set, click the link below and use my coupon code to get 25% off. And if you like this video, please make sure to subscribe, turn notifications on, and give it a like. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Links are in the description below. And thanks for watching another episode of Locked In.
Let's get locked into